Such a wonderful, respected Shrota friends, co-sadhakas, students of these glorious Shastras, wonderful hearted you beings. How nice it is to be with you all spending these hours studying our glorious Moksha Sanatana Dharma Shastras. Welcome you all, congrats and salutations. We are studying Yoga Vaashishtha Maharamayana, Tritiya Utpatthi Prakaranam Leelopakhyanam. Today I have to start the 23rd SARGA, in which Mother Saraswati and Leela, in their Sukshma Shariras, traveling in the Sukshma Chittakasha to see the various worlds and lokas, telling to us that this is not the only world, earth, in which we are living, nor these are the only beings whom we can visualize here. There are higher lokas, sukshma lokas, higher and sukshma, highly evolved beings also, isn't it? And then, depending on our punya and papa, we go to those lower or higher worlds. Yet, so many of the higher lokas, so many of the beings, again, all of them are on the reality, they are all appearances only. Reality is only that Brahman, which is one without second. That is the goal of the final evolution. So, to be able to get clear understanding of all these things and get inspired and do the due sadhanas and evolve, let us through some of the Mangalacharana Shlokas, Shanti Mantras, invoke the Krupa of the Parabrahma, Ishvara, Jagannatha, Devatagana, Gurugana, Shastragana, and the Shastra Datta Rishigana. May Lord Rama, Vaashishthaadi, Vishwamitra Valmiki Adi, Mother Saraswati, all of them bless us, our intellects become subtle, sharp, pure enough to understand the, the explanation aspect of the topics and then inner, deeper meanings, purposes for which these Shastras are given, for which we have to study them. Welcome you all. Just spend 2 minutes. Om. 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 Om Sahanavavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Bhakti Yoga Dharma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsharashibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyah. Om Yairime Guruvihi Purvam Padavakya Pramanatah Vyakhyatah Sarva Vedantaha Satchastraha Tan Nityam Pranatosmyaham. Om Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tatulyam Rama Nama Varanane. Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadrusham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalam Achalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami Param Brahmane Shruti Matre Samasta Brahma Bhakti Yoga Dharma Vidya Acharyebhyo Rishibhyo मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे श्री वशिष्ठ विश्वामित्र वाल्मीकि वेदव्यास वामदेव नारदादि श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायणादि शास्त्राणाम् आचार्येभ्यो नमः. संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषद योग वासिष्ठ महारामायणोक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्यप्राप्त्यर्थं श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणेतिहास सन्तवाङ्मयोक्त साध्यसाधनानुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं तत्रोक्त ऋषिमुनिगुरुदेवता दर्शनानुग्रह अनुभव प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्वाध्यात्मिक प्रगत्यर्थं धर्मसंस्थापकानां नित्यनिरन्तरदिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराममन्दिरवत् शिवकृष्णादिमन्दिरादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरन्तर शास्त्राध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातनधर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तरशत्रुविघ्नसमूलनिर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्माद् क्षणाद् आरभ्य वैदिकहैन्दवसंस्कृतेः धर्ममोक्षपुरुषार्थानां सुसम्प्रतिष्ठा अवाप्त्यर्थं अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां सङ्कल्पितसत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयाः तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्मसाफल्यार्थम् अनेकशास्त्राणाम् अध्ययनसाधना प्रयत्नमध्ये श्रीवाल्मीकिमहर्षिविरचित श्रीरामवसिष्ठसंवादरूप श्रीयोगवासिष्ठमहारामायण स्मृतिप्रकरणमोक्षशास्त्रस्य पारायणमध्ययनं साधनाप्रयत्नं मुक्त्यर्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। मङ्गलाचरणश्लोकाः। ॐ यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शनदृश्यभूः कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञप्त्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मात् आनन्दस्याम्बरेवनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। दिवि भूमौ तथाकाशे बहिरन्तश्च मे विभुः यो विभात्यवभासात्मा तस्मै सर्वात्मने नमः। ॐ सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तमेकमजरं नित्यं विभुं शाश्वतं प्रत्यग्ब्रह्मरसायनं सुखघनं पूर्णं परं पावनं स्वात्मज्योतिरनादिमध्यनिधनं मायाविलासैर्मुहुः विश्वाकारमपास्तमायमभयं वन्दे विशुद्धं पदं। ज्ञानादेवात्मनो मोक्षः न तु कर्मसमाधिभिः अज्ञातोऽसौ स्वसदृश्यं सृजत्येवेति कीर्त्यते। ॐ तस्मै श्रीगुरवे वसिष्ठमुनये नित्यं नमस्कुर्महे। विश्वामित्रमुनिं शरण्यमनघं भूयो नमस्याम्यहं। तस्मै वाल्मीकये श्रीगुरुतमगुरवे भूरिभावैर्नता स्मः। पूर्णानन्दस्वभावः स्वजनहितकृते माययोपात्तकायः कारुण्यादुद्धिधीर्षुर्जनमनवरतं मोहपङ्के निमग्नम् आविश्यान्तर्वसिष्ठं बहिरपि कलयन् शिष्यभावं वितेने यः संवादेन शास्त्रामृतजलधिममुं रामचन्द्रं प्रपद्ये। ॐ श्रीरामचन्द्रपरब्रह्मणे नमः। वसिष्ठादि ऋषिभ्यो नमः। योगवासिष्ठमहारामायणं तृतीय उत्पत्ति प्रकरणं लीलोपाख्यानम्. Friends, in that 22nd sarga, Vijnana Abhyas Varnanam, we have done it. Such a wonderful sarga it was. Just last 3 mantras, if we can see them, we can enter into another spectacular, beautiful sarga number 25. This is 24. I have to just see. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Yes. So, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, these 5 mantras in 5 minutes in this sarga 23. कीतेनैव ज्ञानदेहेन चचार ज्ञप्ति देवतां मानुषी तु इतरेणाशु dhyana jnananurupina. So, tenaiva jnanadehena chachara jnapti devata. That jnapti devata, Saraswati Devi, moves in the jnana deha, consciousness. Okay? Consciousness is all pervading. There is no movement possible in it, required also. But she'll have to travel with Leela in that Chittakasha to show her different lokas. Therefore, that much adjustment is done for us to appear to be traveling with Leela. Otherwise, you may ask question, all pervading consciousness, how can it travel from one place to other? Everything is possible because of Maya. Yet, for every of your question, one common answer remains that nothing is happening in pure Brahman. Thereafter, you can't ask any question. Only two answers to answer all questions. In pure Brahman, nothing is happening. In Maya, everything is possible. Anything is possible. You have no question to ask. सब माया में संभव है. माया में ऐसे ऐसे चीजें संभव है जो आप थोड़ा देख रहे हो. ऐसे 0.001% only we have not seen. है ना? We have not seen what's happening in the world of insects, in the world of microbes. They also have their own colonies, their own governments, their own friends, relatives, their own interactions, their own friends and enemies. हमने कहाँ देखा वो सबको? They also have birth and death. They too have an accidents. They also, get handicapped. सब जगह होता है. But we don't know all of that. How much we have understood about what happens in the plant kingdom, the mutual relation with them, interaction within them. What do we know? What do we know at all? Even human being, we don't know about our own life, our own Dehendriya Prana Manobuddhi. We know only one thing, that we don't know anything. Isn't it? We know nothing is the only thing we know. Right? So, Manushitu Itarena. In the Jnana Deha, Saraswati Mata mode, Manushi, this Leela Itarena. What is that Itarena? Dhyana Jnana Anurupina. Through the dhyana, she reached to the chitta sthiti, therefore Atvahika Deha. Jnana Rupena, she has that Jnana Sankalpa that she wants to see, that Girigrama. That way was the status of Lalita, Leela, sorry. Okay, this is clear. So keep contemplating on such things of the possibility of going beyond Stula Deha Tadat. And in the Sukshma Deha, so many yogis travel such distances. They go to Swargaloka, Surya Mandala, Chandra Mandala, Bhuloka. Naraji Bhulok mein aaye, we listen in Purana. So casually said. And it said so casually that we don't even question also. We just believe. Little ask how it happened. Naraji is such a yogi, the distances and times are not binding him. He is beyond all of that. इसलिए ब्रह्मदेव को भाई कह के नेक्स्ट मोमेंट ही कैन बी ऑन द अर्थ. फ्रॉम हियर ही कैन गो टू स्वर्ग, एनी ऑफ द लोकस. 14 लोकस में उनको घूमना ऐसे जस्ट. ही नीड नॉट वेट फॉर द travel agent to take the call and book the flight and all that. No need. Yes. That is what the higher worlds that are possible, which are not moksha. Moksha is aham brahmasmi. They're all in the upadhi. The finer tuning, refinement in the upadhi gives us those subtle siddhis, which are part of prakriti only. Again, it has nothing to do with moksha. Keep in mind. Right. Next, gehantareva pradesha matram aruhya samvida. So, gehantaha eva. In that very antapura, physical one, pradesha matram aruhya. Only lit is place only in that space. Samvida, with their consciousness, babuvatuhu, they appeared or became Chidakasha Rupanyam. They reached to that Chidakasha Rupa, Vyomagakriti. as the akara like the vyoma, so that in that sukshmati sukshma rupa, piercing anything, they can keep traveling. Nothing strong grosser can obstruct it. You know, somewhat like Star Trek, those serials we used to see na, late 80s, early 90s. अब क्या आते हैं उसके बहुत बहुत होंगे, आई डोंट नो. In your Chinese movies, though, they make every natanki. Indians are much behind compared to them. In every of the movie, they all fly only in the Akash. All the martial arts movies. So, if you can imagine and produce these things in a cinema, that means those things are possible and those levels are very much there. Levels of identities with the Atyanta Sukshma Antakarana Upadhis. So, in that very Antapura, in that Akasha, Stula, in that the Chidakasha, in that Chittakasha, they traveled. Don't get confused. As we said yesterday, toward the end, the container contents change when we become Satla. The container is the pure consciousness, infinite, all permanent. In that, the Chittakasha, they are the only contents. So already they are one with the Sarvavyapaka Chidakasha. And yet, they want to see those lokas. Therefore, the seeable Sharira they get, and from the place where they are, the required way they have to travel, suiting to that state of being. Like in dream, we travel in a dream way, isn't it? It's applicable only to the dream. That way we cannot travel in waking. In waking too, in plane, we'll travel in on the plane way. In train, we travel in train way. In car on the road, we travel in car way. You cannot interchange them, isn't it? कार रोड पे ही जाती है, फ्लाइट आकाश में उड़ती है. हाँ, आकाश में उड़ने वाले कार आ गए हैं. That's okay. That's all sophistication, modernization, technology. We are talking not about the vehicles or instruments. We are talking about the concepts. Concept of flying in आकाश. Train. It goes through the villages on the पटरी पे ही वो ट्रेन चलती रहती हो. पटरी से नहीं उतर सकती हो. बस. Think about it. Even planes also, they have radar, their directions. In that only they have to move. They can't be erratic. Anyway, that's not our topic. They are, be attentive. In a suitable, they are suitable to fly, and they are flying in that subtle way from the subtle status to the other subtle. Okay, that's the travel there. That's why Vasishthaji also tried to say, Gehantareva Pradeshamatramaruhya Samvida Babhuvatuhu Chidakasha Rupinyo Vyomagakriti. So Chidakasha Rupa, Akasha Rupa, they have become. So the Sthura Sharira bond is given up, Indriyas transcended. In the Antakarana also, only they are aware of their individuality, they are aware of the Sankalpa of going to that Loka. And the required equipments sufficient to see whatever en route that is seen. So that's how you can imagine as they travel. Everywhere it is now when you go for mountaineering. So you go in different dress, different equipments, the water bottle very light, snacks giving full energy. आपका उस travel अलग होता है. When you travel in the sea, that is different things that are carried. When you travel in jungle, when you travel in the cold winter places. I'm giving an idea how wherever we go, we tune or set ourselves according to. Here, they have to travel in Chitta Kasha, so they have reached to that identity. अब इतना समझ गए तो काफी. आतते ललने अथ मंगलवाचकम ललने ड्यूअल केस ललना ललने those most beautiful women, both of them, Leela Lole, Lalita Lochane, Leela Lole, doing Leela is Leela Devi, Lola is Saraswati Devi, Leela Lole, dual case, Lalita Lochane, having most beautiful eyes, such beautiful, women compared eye आंख देखकर कहते हैं. तो ललित लोचने स्वभाव स्वभावात चैत्य संवित्ते नभो दूरम इतो गतः. Swabhavat means by identifying with their own Swarupa Swabhava, Chaitya Samvittehe, with the Chit Swarupa Tadatmya, Nabho Duram Ito Gataha. From this place, they went into the subtle space, in that space level of traveling, space way of traveling. Tatrastheva Atha, staying there only, body was there only. But Chit Vrutya, Chitta identity with pure consciousness. Within it, the Vritti, the Sankalpa, that they have to travel and reach. Taking that as flight or wings, Pupluvate Navastaram. They flew in that space. So, not difficult nowadays. Science and technology में आप every advertisement, every fiction वाला movie में आप देखते हो. How from that individual sleeping, that Jiva tree comes out and he is moving everywhere. They have studied Yoga Vaashishtha Ramayana in some Janma. That's how those producers and directors, they get that idea. नहीं तो कहाँ से मिलेगा उनको, है ना? In a fictitious manner, you can see in most of Hindi movies, all that hero, from him only his own individuality comes out. And that coming out individuality talks about be honest, be loyal. And this individual says, no, मेरा नुकसान हुआ, मेरा परिवार का नाश हो गया, मैं उनको मार ही डालूंगा. He says, the other fellow, नहीं नहीं, you should not do the same mistake what they do. नहीं नहीं, मैं करके रहूंगा. Finally, Antaratma wins in the old movie. Nowadays, the Bhutatma wins. He doesn't listen to the inner conscience. That is the meaning of modernization. मॉडर्नाइजर मीन्स गुरु को नहीं सुनना, भगवान को नहीं सुनना, कॉन्शियंस को नहीं सुनना, माँ बाप को कभी छोड़ दिया है, हाँ पत्नी को जरूर सुनना नहीं तो पीटेगी, एंड इन लॉस को सुनना, गवर्नमेंट को नहीं सुनना, जिनको सुनना है उनको नहीं सुनना बस. मॉडर्नाइजेशन. Anyway, we see all of that, no? In that way, both of them, Pupluvate Navastalam. How long? Koti Yojana Vistiranam. In its own calculation, crores of yojana distance, space they traveled Durat Durantaram. Farthermore than the farthermost. Distance. Now it's very mind blowing thing. I myself do not want to heat up my head and in trying to explain it, that when so many lokas have to be there, they also have to have their own surroundings around it. Naturally, it is always calculated in space. Therefore, if there have to be 1,000 lokas, then each loka has to have its own size in whatever the Chidakasha or Chittakasha it is there. Naturally, the next loka should be little distant from it. जैसे एक शहर इधर है तो वो दूसरा शहर उससे थोड़ा दूर पे रहना होगा. एक घर इधर है तो दूसरा घर उससे दूर रहना ही पड़ेगा ना. So naturally, in that particular language, we travel. He crossed 10 houses to reach to the 11th house of his friend. So yeah, in this colony, houses have to be there for the people to stay. They are there. Or he has crossed 10 villages to reach to his 11th village. Or he has crossed 10 countries to reach to the 11th country. Hai na? So too the different lokas they have to cross to see the Girigrama. They are there in between. That's why the language of distances, language of travelings, all of them are spoken here. All of them are happening in the chitta only. In fact, this entire gross world what we have and the gross body identity we have, gross space or the roads or places we are aware of, and in that this gross body traveling, they are also from the Sukshma Sthiti, they are also concepts only. Nothing is happening in this world. Nobody is traveling from anywhere to anywhere. Conceptual travelings, everything. That's it. Very fun. It's a very difficult subject to understand because from the highest standpoint of Brahman, which is one, homogeneous, without second, all pervading, in that travel is never possible. If at all travel is there, everything that's included in the travel are projections. The traveler, the traveling vehicle, the traveling road, the speed, the destination to be reached, सब उसमें concepts हैं. When there are concepts, so then they are any type they can be. एक बार कॉन्सेप्ट है तो आप उसको किसी भी तरह से बना सकते हो. Reality is one, you can't touch or change it. But the concepts being a concept, you can keep on changing. Very subtle subject. Anyway, सुन लो. इस तरह से इन द लास्ट श्लोका बहुत सुंदर. दृश्यानुसंधान निज स्वभावात् आकाश देहे अपिते मिथोत्र परस्पराकार विलोकनेन बभूवतुः स्नेह परे वयस्ये. So drishya anusandhana nija swabhavat. So both of them reach to the nija swabhava chaitanya rupa. Akasha dehe. They are in the akasha deha. Api te mitha atra. Paraspara akara vilokanena. Yet they could look at each other. And they could even like each other, love each other because खट्टे travel करना है ना. अब शुरू से लड़े तो कैसा. बभूवतु स्नेह परे and वयस्य. So this is like what we study in Mundakas, Katas, even Shvetashvataras, Dvasuparna, Sayuja, Sakhaya. So here also Sayuja, Sakhayaha. Here it's called Vayasye, Sneha Pare. With all that Sneha Prema, looking at each other, recognizing each other, see that Chidakasha, both are them. Sukshma Sharir, both of them. They are independent to each other. Yet they could see. That's how the condition made because Leela with her Sankalpa invoked mother. Mother had to come. Then mother had to bless her. Leela asked for that boon. It has to be answered. So when it is answered, she'll have to take her and show that Loka. So these are all Sankalpa. बल से सब बन रहा है इधर. संकल्प बन से सब बल से सब बन रहा है. With this knowledge, need not be surprised about anything which appears to be mind-boggling, mind-blowing, or beyond our comprehension. माया से बना हुआ, मन से बना हुआ संकल्प बल से कुछ भी हो सकता है. That's what we have to catch. How did it happen? Why did they go like that? Did they see each other? Did they recognize each other? What is Chidakasha? What is this Ativahika Deha? Is it possible, sir? When this Stula Sharira is possible and you wish to be stupid Jiva can enter in this and identify with it and feel this is me. When this nonsense is possible, that higher sensibility also is possible. There is no Ashcharya. In this way, the 23rd Sarga, Ityarshye Vaashishtha Ramayane Valmiki Utpatthi Prakaranam Leelopakhyanam Jnanadeha Akashagamanam Nama Trayovimshah Sargah. Sri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai, Saraswati Mata ki jai, Vaashishtha Bhagavan ki jai. Now 24th Sarga. Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Om Shri Rama Sharanam Mama. Shri Ramayana Sharanam Mama. Shri Vasishtha Sharanam Mama. Shri Vishwamitra Sharanam Mama. Shri Valmiki Sharanam Mama. Shri Vyasa Sharanam Mama. Shri Narada Sharanam Mama, Shri Saraswati Sharanam Mama, Shri Sadguru Sharanam Mama, Shri Rama Sharanam Mama, Sharanam Mama, Sharanam Mama. Friends, yesterday, towards the end, as we saw, the titles of each of the Sarga, from this Sarga onwards, Leela Saraswati, traveling with that Ativahika Deha into the subtle lokas. Seeing all of them. Description given by Vaashishthaji. That's the topic. So, little bit only here and there, any Vedanta or anything to understand. Otherwise, only the Varnana of all the lokas. And it's very tough Sanskrit. I am not a संस्कृत पंडित एट ऑल. अगले जन्म में पहले मैं संस्कृत पढ़ूंगा. अब पढ़ूंगा तो सन्नीते काले संप्राप्ते डुक्रुं करणे नहीं रक्षते. Isn't it? First Pandita of Sanskrit, Paniniya. No need of Panditya to compete or fight with others. That much Sanskrit which helps us understand our Moksha Shastras. Enough. Utna to chahiye. And some language like that of, you know, any of the poets, some of them write lighter language, some of them use complicated, some of them use both, like Shankara Bhagwan. When he writes the Prakarana Granthas, the language is so simple. But when you have to write the Bhashya, no, it's very sublime. Valmiki also, when he wrote the Ramayana, that is such an simple Sanskrit only. Valmiki Ramayana. You know Valmiki Ramayana who wrote? पता है ना वाल्मीकि जी. And same Valmiki, when he writes Yoga Vaashishtha Maharava, it is more subtle. And which he wrote first, I तो don't know. Probably this only, because ये पहला हुआ ना, वो तो फिर बाद में. जैसा भी हो, this language is tough. Examples are tough. Similes, metaphors, construction of sentences, all of them are of high level. You know, some of these great writers, the Kalidasas, उनके writings भी ऐसे होते हैं. We have to master the bhasha, what to do in one life to enjoy truly what is contained in the Shastra. Somebody speaking to us in some language, which very passive is that joy, very less level it is. Kacha kacha. Original is Sanskrit. And that when I know Sanskrit and I study it and I understand, the joy arising having known what is said there is inexplicable in any language. Mukha Swadhanavat, it is called in Bhakti Shastra. Bhakti is like a dumb fellow enjoying a very delicious sweet. Ask him, "Oh, kaisa hota hai? Kaisa hai?" He cannot explain. Mukha Swadhanavat. Labhyate cha kwapi patre. Only few are the deserving ones who get the taste of devotion. Naradji says in Narada Bhakti Sutra. So too, the Shastra Jnana is enjoyed only by those who know Sanskrit directly. Because they are in Sanskrit original. In some English literature, if it is translated into Sanskrit, वो जजेगा शायद नहीं. Because the one who thought it is in English. Therefore, in English only that poem will be beautiful. You know, you know, where the head is held high. To that country of freedom, oh my Lord, let my country awake. Tagore, somebody wrote it in English. Now, if you translate it in Sanskrit, Mama Shiraha, Upari Upari Tishtatu, it won't. It in English only. You know, all of them in that language. जो जिसका अपना ओरिजिनल वेदांत पक्का संस्कृत में ही मजा आता है. सम लाइफ लेट अस डू संकल्प अभी कर लो. मैं तो कर लिया. अगले जन्म पहले जितना भी टाइम जरूरत लगे spend in thoroughly mastering the bhasha. Okay, now Leela and Saraswati, both of them traveling in the Sukshma Akasha with the Sukshma Shariras, seeing the Sukshma Lokas other than this Sthula. And mind you, all these Lokas are here only. This concept, everything concept, no? अब concept में तो इधर उधर सब एक ही जगह होते हैं. Because once you Break the shackle of concepts, the times and spaces and all of them won't condition one. It's a different explanation altogether. It's highly yogic, highly mystic, highly super mental, supernatural. It is what we just said. It will become meaningful to us maybe in 1,000 lives when we become yogis ourselves. धीरे धीरे पहले तो भोगी बंद करके क्लास में आना शुरू करो, then one by one thing will achieve. Okay, let us make a chanting of this chapter as every one of them. 65 slokas. मैं तो थक ही जाऊंगा, आप भी थक जाओ. धीरे धीरे पढ़ेंगे. एंजॉय. ओम अत श्री ओम श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः. श्री वशिष्ठादि ऋषिभ्यो नमः. श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायणम तृतीय उत्पत्ति प्रकरणम लीलोपाख्याने लीला सरस्वती गगन वर्णनं नाम चतुर्विंशः सर्गः. श्री वशिष्ठ उवाच पारायणं दूराद्दूरमभिप्लुत्य शनैरुच्चैः पदं गते हस्तं हस्ते समालम्ब्य यान्त्या ददृशतुर्नभः एकार्णवमिवोच्छूनं गम्भीरं निर्मलान्तरं कोमलं कोमलमरुद आसङ्गसुखभोगदम् आह्लादकमलं सौम्यं शून्यताम्भोनिमज्जनात् अत्यन्तशुद्धं गम्भीरं प्रसन्नम् अपि सज्जनात् शृङ्गस्थनिर्मलाम्भोद पीनोदरसुधालये विशस्रमतुराशासु पूर्णचन्द्रोदरामलेन् सिद्धगन्धर्वमन्दार मालामोदमनोहरे चन्द्रमण्डलनिष्क्रान्ते रेमाते मधुरानिले सन्नतुर्भूरि घर्मान्ते तडित् रक्ताब्जसङ्कुले सरसीव जलापूर मन्थरे मेघमण्डले भूतलौघमहाशैल मृणालाङ्कुरकोटिशो दिक्षु बभ्रमतुः स्वैरं भ्रमर्यौ सरसीष्विव धारागृहर्याधीर गंगा निर्झरधारिणी भ्रेमतुर्वातविक्षुब्ध मेघमण्डलमण्डपे ततो मधुरगामिन्यौ विश्राम्यन्त्यौ स्वशक्तितः शून्ये ददृशतुर्व्योम महारम्भाति मन्थरम् अदृष्टपूर्वम् अन्योन्यं सर्वसङ्कटकोटरम् आपूर्यमाणम् आशून्यं जगत्कोटिशतैरपि उपर्युपर्युपर्युच्छैः अन्यैरन्यैर्वृतं पृथक् विचित्राभरणाकारैर्भूतलैः सुविमानकैः परितः पूरितव्योम्नाम मेर्वादिकुलभूभृतां पद्मरागतटोद्योतैः कल्पज्वालोपमोदरम् मुक्ताशिकलमापूरैः मुक्ताशिखरमापूरैर्हिमवत्सानुसुन्दरं काञ्चनाद्रिस्थलार्चिर्भिः काञ्चनस्थलभासुरं महामरगताभाभिः शाद्वलस्थलनीलिमं द्रष्टृदृश्य क्षयासक्त जातध्वान्तोत्थकालिमं पारिजातलतालोल विमानगणकेतनम् अतो मञ्जरिकाकारम् इव वैडूर्यभूतलम् मनोवेगमहासिद्ध जितवातगमागमं विमानगृहदेवस्त्री गेयवाद्यसघुङ्घुमं त्रैलोक्यवरभूतौघ सञ्चारविरलान्तरम् अन्योन्यादृष्टसञ्चार सुरासुरकुलाकुलं पर्यन्तस्थितकूष्माण्ड रक्षः पैशाचमण्डलं वातस्कन्धमहावेग वहद्वैमानिकव्रजम् वहद्विमानसेत्कार पुष्टिग्राह्यघनध्वनि ग्रहर्क्षघन सञ्चारात् प्रचलद् वातयन्त्रकं निकटातपदग्धाल्प सिद्धसिद्धोज्झितास्पदम् अर्काश्वमुखवातास्त दग्धमुग्धविमानकं लोकपालाप्सरो वृन्द सञ्चाराचारचञ्चलम् देव्यन्तः पुरिका दग्धा धूपधूमाम्बुदाम्बरम् स्वस्वर्गाहूतदेवस्त्री स्वाङ्गविभ्रंष्टभूषणम् बिभ्रष्टभूषणम् सामान्यसिद्धसङ्घोग्र तेजः पुञ्जतमोबलम् बलवत् सिद्धसङ्घट्ट गमागमविघट्टितैः घनैः सांशुकपार्श्वस्थ हिमवन्मेरुमन्दरम् काकोलोकैर्गृध्रभासैर्हाशीभूतैश्चलैर्वृतम् नृत्यद्भिर्ढाकिनी सङ्घैः तरङ्गैरिव वारिधिं प्रवृत्तैर्योगिनी सङ्घैः स्वकाकोष्ठकराननैः निरर्थं योजनशतं गत्वा गच्छद्भिरावृतं लोकपालपुरोध्वान्त धूमधूम्रेभ्रमन्दिरे सिद्धगन्धर्वमिथुन प्रारब्धसुरतोत्सवं स्वर्गगीतस्तवोन्मत्त मदनाक्रान्तमार्गगम् अनारतवहद्दिष्ण्य चक्रलक्षितपक्षकं वातस्कन्दनिखातान्तर् वहत्त्रिपतगाजलम् आश्चर्यालोकसव्यग्र सञ्चरत्रिदशार्भकं सदेह सञ्चरद्वज्र चक्रशूलासि शक्तिमत् क्वचिन्निर्भित्तिभवनं गायन्नारदतुम्बुरु मेघमार्गमहामेघ महारंभाकुलं क्वचित् चित्रन्यस्तसमाकार मूककल्पान्तवारिदम् उत्पतत्कज्जलाद्रीद्र उत्पलत्कज्जलाद्रीन्द्र सुन्दराम्भोधरं क्वचित् क्वचित् कनकनिष्पन्द कान्ततापान्तवारिदं क्वचित् दिग्धाहतापाढ्य नृष्यमूकाम्बुदां शुकम् क्वचिन्निष्पवनाम्भोधि संरम्भं शून्यताजलं क्वचिद् वातनदीप्रौढ विमानतृणपल्लवं क्वचिच्चलदलिव्रात पृष्ठत्वक्कान्तिनिर्मलं क्वचिन्मेरुनदीकल्प वातधूलिविधूसरं क्वचिद्विमानगीर्वाण प्रभाचित्रबलाङ्गकं क्वचिन्निरम्बरोन्नृत्त मातृमण्डलमालितं क्वचिन्नित्यं नवक्षीव क्षुब्धयोगीश्वरीगणं क्वचिच्छान्तसमाधिस्थ विश्रान्तमुनिमालितं समं दूरास्तसंरम्भ साधुचित्तमनोहरं गायत्किन्नरगन्धर्वा सुरस्त्रीमण्डलं क्वचित् क्वचित् स्तब्धपुराकीर्णं वहत्पुरवरं क्वचित् क्वचित् रुद्रपुरापूर्णं क्वचित् ब्रह्ममहापुरं क्वचिन्मायाकृतं मायाकृतपुरं क्वचिदागामिपत्तनम् आगामिपत्तनम् क्वचित् भ्रमच्चन्द्रसरः क्वचित् स्तब्धमयं नरः सरः क्वचित् सरत्सिद्धगणं क्वचिदिन्दुकृतोदयं क्वचित् सूर्योदयमयं क्वचित् रात्रितमोमयं क्वचित् सन्ध्यांशुकपिलं क्वचिन्नीहारभूसरं क्वचिद्धिमाभ्रधवलं क्वचित् वर्षत्पयोधरं क्वचित् स्थल इवाकाश एव विश्रान्तिलोकपम् ऊर्ध्वाधोगमनव्यग्र सुरासुरगणं क्वचित् पूर्वापरोत्तरायाम्य दिक्सञ्चाराकुलं क्वचित् अभियोजनलक्षाणि क्वचित् दुष्प्रावभूधरम् अविनाशितमः पूर्णं दृशद्गर्भोपमं क्वचित् अविनाशि बृहत्तेजः क्वचिदर्कानलोपमं हिमानि जठराशीतं क्वचित् चन्द्रादिसद्मसु क्वचिद्वहत्पुरोवृत्त कल्पवृक्षलतावनं क्वचिद्दैत्यहतोत्तुङ्ग प्रपतद्देवपत्तनं वैमानिकनिपातेन वह्निलेखाङ्कितं क्वचित् क्वचित् केतुशतोत्पातं पादं मिथः सङ्घट्टपट्टितं क्वचित् शुभ्रग्रहग्रहण क्वचित् शुभग्रहगण प्रगृहीताग्र्यमण्डलं क्वचिद् रात्रितमो व्याप्तं क्वचिद् दिवसभास्वरं क्वचिद् उद्गर्जदम्भोदं क्वचिन्मूकामलाम्बुदं वातावकीर्णशुक्लाभ्र खण्डपुष्पोत्तरं क्वचित् क्वचिदत्यन्तनिःशून्यम् अवदातमनन्तरम् आनन्दमृदुशान्ताच्छं न्यस्येव हृदयं ततं शुक्रवाहनभेकौभैः भेकौघैः क्वचिद् गलकृतारवं शून्यतावारिवलितं क्षेत्रमाकाशवासिनाम् मयूरहेमचूडादि पक्षिभिः क्वचिदावृतं विद्याधरीणां देवीनां वाहवैर्विहितास्मैः क्वचिदभ्रान्तरो नृत्यत् गुह मायूरमण्डलं क्वचिदग्निशुक्लैः श्यामं शाद्दुलानामिव स्थलं क्वचित् प्रेतेश महिष महिम्ना वामनाम्बुदं क्वचिदश्वैस्तृणग्राम शङ्काग्रस्तसिताम्बुदं क्वचिद्देवपुरव्याप्तं क्वचिद्दैत्यपुरान्वितम् अन्योन्याप्राप्य नगरं नगरन्ध्रकरानिलम् क्वचित् कुलाचलाकार नृत्यद्भैरवभासुरं क्वचित् सपक्षशैलेन्द्र समनृत्यद्विनायकं क्वचित् फुर्फुरवातौघ प्रौढीनपर्वतं क्वचित् गन्धर्वनगर सुरस्त्रीवृन्दबन्धुरं क्वचित् गहद्गिरिध्वस्त वृक्षलक्षोच्छ्रिताम्बुदं क्वचिन्मायाकृताकाश नलिनी जलशीतलं क्वचिदिन्दुकराकृष्ट शीतलाह्लादमारुतं क्वचित् तप्तानिलादग्ध ध्रुवपर्वतवारिदं क्वचिदत्यन्तसंशान्त वातादेकान्तनिर्ध्वने क्वचित् पर्वततुल्याभ्र शिखाकूटशतोदयं क्वचित् प्रावृद्भवोन्मत्त घनाभ्ररवघर्घरं क्वचित् सुरासुरगण प्रवृत्तरणदुर्गमं क्वचित् व्योमाब्जिनीहंसि सनाहूताब्जवाहनं क्वचिन्मन्दाकिनीतीर नलिनीलुण्ठकानिलं स्वशरीरेण गङ्गादि सरितां सन्निधानतः प्रोड्डीनमत्स्यमकर कुलीराम्बुजकूर्मकम् पातालगार्कचनित जनित भूच्छायाकाकचोपनैः क्वचित् क्वचिन्मण्डलेषु ग्रस्तचन्द्रार्कमण्डलं क्वचित् सर्गानिलाधूत मायाकुसुमकाननं पतत्पुष्पहिमासार त्रसद्वैमानिकाङ्गनम् उदुम्बरोदरमशक्रक्रमभ्रमज्जगत्त्रयान्तर्गतभूतसञ्चयं विलङ्घ्य तद्वरललने खमुच्चकैर्महीतलं पुनरपि गन्तुमुद्यमे उदुम्बरोदरमशक उदुम्बरोदरमशक क्रमभ्रम जगत्त्रयान्तर्गतभूत सञ्चयं विलङ्घ्य तद्वरललने खमुच्चकैर्महीतलं पुनरपि गन्तुमुद्यते इति आर्षे श्री वासिष्ठमहारामायणे वाल्मीकिये उत्पत्तिप्रकरणे लीलोपाख्याने गगनवर्णनं नाम चतुर्विंशः सर्गः। टेक्स लॉट ऑफ एनर्जी कलयुग में। मैं तो कमिट किया हूँ ये सब पढ़ने का, इसलिए जब तक शरीर है जितना हो सके उतना चलता रहेगा। आई मे नॉट बी एबल टू डू अप टू द 32,000 श्लोक, हु नोस, भगवान कराए तो कराएंगे, बट देयर इज ए जॉय ऑफ chanting these things, है ना। I don't know, for us, whichever the text we are taking, we are giving importance to study every shloka and try to see meaning. Whether it is Valmiki Ramayana 24,000, Bhagavatam 18,000, है ना, then our Adhyatma Ramayanam 3,500 or 4,500, any of them, we are seeing all of that. This is also, let us see. We don't know. Everything need not be known. Prabhu has something planned for us. We are doing it. So far, the thought that such thing you can skip in saying 2 minutes, the summary, has not come to me. When it comes, I'll skip and just go. I know. Like this sarga. I can give an example, 2 examples, and make you understand and move ahead. One example of when we, you know, travel in the car or train, especially long distance, कश्मीर टू कन्याकुमारी, ऐसा कोई ट्रेन होगा, अब देखो, यू विल सी एज इट इज डिस्क्राइब्ड हियर, if you are near the window and watchful, as it is described here, you will see so many lokas, 100,000 explained here, you will see like that only 1,000. Like that, as we travel in train from one end to other, en route we see so many places, so too are the lokas in the Sukshma Loka. That's the meaning. Understood? No? More explanation. You see en route the super high tech cities, the cosmopolitans, the metropolitans, the districts, the big cities, the towns. You can see villages, everything come en route. And in each of them, the people, their dressing, their addressing, their food habits, their culture, everything different. And the atmosphere also changes. When you're going through the villages, the cool atmosphere. टाउन में से जाते हो तो सारा वहाँ गर्मी गर्मी लगती है आपको. You can see the chanchalata also when you enter into a city. In the whole atmosphere that's there. And you go into the remote place, itna shant. Okay? So to the different people you see, different dresses you see, different cultures you see. In India only from one end to the other you travel, इतना आपको वैरायटी दिखेगा, है ना? कमिंग फ्रॉम कश्मीर, इन दैट कश्मीरी भोजन मिलेगा आपको. पंजाब में आओ तो पराठा खिलाएगा. वो इडली मांगोगे तो वो इडली पराठा की तरह बना के देगा. You come to the central Madhya Pradesh, आओ जयपुर आ जाओ. They have their own things to offer and travel to all these southern states. अलग अलग भोजन मिलता है भैया आपको. Then you can see en route the school, the colleges, the universities, the playgrounds, the army, shooting ranges. अब क्या क्या नहीं दिखते आपको. The cement factories, you can see them. ईट के भट्टियां वगैरह दिखते हैं आपको. स्टील के कंपनी ऑफ फैक्ट दिखेंगे आपको. उड़ान वो भी दिखेगा आपको. When you travel from one place to the other, isn't it? In the same way, there are worlds higher. That's the description. This much is enough. I can move ahead. Another example is आप keenly देखोगे very subtly, है ना? Which have that दृष्टि. You can see a group of ants one place, a group of mosquitoes another place, a group of house flies another place. Don't you see? एक ग्रुप ऑफ भंवरा अपने आप ही घूम रहे. एक ग्रुप ऑफ कबूतर जाएंगे, एक ग्रुप ऑफ डक्स दे आर गोइंग. मेंढक अपना एक ग्रुप बनाकर जा रहे. You see so many insects of their own family, the moths, the butterflies. Don't you see them on the earth only when you are traveling? जमीन को देखते जाओ आप. There is a group of white ants someplace, black ants someplace, isn't it? छोटे छोटे during a rainy season, the family of earthworms you can see. कछुए भी दिखेंगे आपको. वो बिच्छू भी दिखेंगे. If you see the family of serpents, you see a group of cows or buffaloes going, the झुंड of monkeys, उसमें लंगूर अलग. Do you see there, no? The different lokas there all. The monkey loka is not same that of donkeys. Donkey loka is same not the buffalo. अलग है वो. The group of zebras, the group of giraffes, the group of the ऊंट, what do you call them, camels, and the entire झुंड of हाथी, मेरे साथी. अब जब चलता है उसका अलग ही अंदाज. When the herd of lions, they go. Then share jackals. आप जंगल में जो कोई हाइना अपना अलग होता है. हिप्पोपोटामस का फैमिली अलग होता है. इन द पक्षी लोग का यू कैन सी ऑल तोते साथ में जाते हैं. कबूतर साथ में आते हैं. All the cranes they go together. All कौवा one family. Waiting for किसका श्राद्ध है जाके खाएंगे बेचारे. पितृदेवतास come in that form. The vultures, in the akasha, 5 of them, 7 of them. You can see them. How many lokas are there? Each one's loka is different. The group of dogs that they are there. Cats, the mewing ones, different there. And the rabbits world is different. इतने लोग आपको देख रहे हैं. And I told you the other day in one of the class somewhere, in the human beings only, there are million lokas. The doctor's loka is different from engineer's loka is different from the actor's loka is different from the sports person is different from the politicians is different from the babalo. जिस लोक में हम हैं, for thousands of people, this is alien only. And we who are in this, to many, many lokas, we are blind only. In this world, do you know all that is happening in the army, Indian Army, International Army, Navy में, Air Force में, भूगर्भ में, और the astro में, इसमें how what do I know? That is a different world. The people are sitting and doing their contemplations, researches. You know, the world of economists, the world of the protecting force, अपना अलग अलग दुनिया. You understand? No? An idea. That means this is not the only thing. They are the subtle worlds too. तो यक्ष भूत पिशाच भी लिखा है उधर. They have seen them also. The underworld dons, as you see in that country. Terrorist लोग, नक्सलाइट लोग, the bad elements. तो हो गया ये चैप्टर, आप पढ़ लो बाकी. I can go into 25th. 25th shloka is Bhuloka Varnanam, which I have already done. So go ahead to the 26th one. है ना? 26th Siddhaloka Varnanam. I need not tell you, are already there. 27th is Paramatma Varnanam. That I can't tell because I don't know. Easily we can skip all. Isn't it? But let us browse through. थोड़े श्लोक तो टेस्ट करेंगे ना. सो लीलोपाख्याने लीला प्रज्ञा आकाश गमनम नाम चतुर्विंशतितम सर्गः. श्री वशिष्ठ उवाच. वेरी टफ लैंग्वेज. हाँ, मेरे को तो डर ही लगता है ये टेक्स्ट को पढ़ाना. Even a Sanskrit Pandit cannot remember all that and explain. You have to have different blessings of Vaashishthaji and Rama. Then only we dare to open this text and study. And talking to someone is next to impossible. And I'm lucky nobody listens. That's why I have the courage to talk. Isn't it? So, Sri Vasishtha Uvacha, first mantra. Durat Duram Aviplutya. From distance to distance, having flown. Shanaihi, slowly. Uchchaihi Padam Gate. To the highest, higher and lokas places in the Sukshma space they have reached. The Sukshma place space mein, the travel also is in Sukshma Rupa. And how they were hastam haste samalambya, holding each one's hand. You know, the sky divers also sometimes when they dive, they hold the hand each other. Just to show that beautiful show to the onlookers. नहीं तो एक ज्यादा मोटा है तो जल्दी नीचे गिरेगा वो. So they hold on to each other's hand. So too sometimes the people who play the sports in the waters, hand in hand. And you also जब घूमने जाते हो हाथ पकड़ कर जाते हो ना अपने दोस्तों का, है ना. आजकल तो नहीं, कम हो गया. पहले तो विद द फ्रेंड्स, कंधे पे कंधा हाथ डाल के, कमर में हाथ डाल के, हाथ हाथ पकड़ के, you have enjoyed. कोरोना के बाद nobody touches anybody. Better. So hastam haste samalambya, holding each one's hand, as a confidence, that बिछड़ न जाए. एग्जीबिशन ग्राउंड में जो आजकल हैदराबाद में होता है, वहाँ अनाउंसमेंट चलता रहता है. You go and see that. Mr. So and so coming from Jaipur with a family. So he's become alone here, waiting here. Family members can come and see him here. कुंभ मेला में हमने देखा लगातार चल रहा है. So and so from that came. He's searching for his family members. And one child announced, he told the people, 14 of my family member गुमशुदा हुए. Actually, he गुमशुदा हुआ. Interesting. So you hold the hand so that you don't get lost. Nowadays, to all these media, cell phones, a million ways are there to meet the people. अभी तो पहले ऐसा नहीं होता था. एक बार गए तो you don't know where is God down, जिंदा है मरा है, पता नहीं. So they were holding each one's hand out of love also. So hastam haste samalambya yantyau, while traveling, dadrushatuhu, they were seeing Namaha, the Akasha. So what they are seeing is the Akash, infinite. In that Akasha, सूक्ष्म चित्ताकाश it is. इन चिदाकाश तो कुछ नहीं होता ना. चित्ताकाश में ही, चिदाकाश में ही सब कल्पित है. But first step of Kalpana is Bhut Chittakasha. In that only all of that. Sukshma Lokas. So, how was that space what they saw? Ekarnavam iva. It is like infinite ocean. Utshunam. Nothing in that. Gambhiram. Very deep. Nirmalantaram. Without any malinata in it. Komalam. Very soft. Komala Marut Asanga Sukha Bhogadam. Because of the emptiness of everything that was felt by them like on the earth when a very soft, tender wind touches our body, how joyful it is. कभी आप वातावरण में जाकर देखो, not throughout the year, but in a particular season, है ना, just before rains or after end of the rain or before the winter starts or summer ends, those times, when you go to that forest type of place or remote place में, तो ठंडी हवा आकर लगती है. कितने हिंदी सिनेमा गाने इसके ऊपर है, hundreds of them, beautiful. ठंडी हवा के ऊपर 100 गाने हैं उधर. So कोमलम कोमल मरुत आसंग सुख भोगदम. Komala, very tender. Marut, wind. Asanga, touched. Sukha, giving the pleasure. Bhoga, enjoying that. For them, the travel in the space was appearing like that. And it is like one big ocean. Gambhira, Nirmala, in that infinite space. स्थूल को पार कर लिया ना उन्होंने. To that extent, the impurities have gone away. Then, आह्लाद कमलम सौम्यम शून्यतांभो निमज्जनात् अत्यंत शुद्धम गंभीरम प्रसन्नम अपि सतजनात्. So that Akasha only is described here before they start seeing the different lokas. So Ahlada Kamalam Saumyam. The Akasha was like giving them the Ahlada like a Kamala which is absolutely Saumya soft. Shunyata Ambho Nimajjanat. They are doing the Nimajjanam in that water of emptiness. Shunyata Ambho Nimajjan. When they are drowning or taking a dip in the space which is Shunya, the joy to them is like the touching the Ahlada Kamala. Atyanta Shuddham. That space is such a pure, immaculate. And Gambhiram, it is so vast, so infinite. Prasannam Abhisajjanat. It is like so much prasanna, sometimes even superseding the Sajjana also. Sajjanat means comparatively also, superlative also. सज्जन से भी प्रसन्न सज्जन के समान प्रसन्न हो आकाश. This word is again a vyavaharik vedanta. This one word, prasannam api sajjanat. He is the sajjana in whose presence all are prasanna, happy, safe, secured, fearless, no fear of getting humiliated or insulted, etc. उनको कहते हैं सज्जन, जिनके समक्ष में होता है. We can become one such sajjana. The world needs so many sajjana today. All are durjana. Durjanas are having some inside selfishnesses, impure thoughts, ill wills, etc. Oh, durjan hai. Shuddha, I want nothing from you. My presence should give you joy. May you be happy. With these thoughts, whoever is there, he is a sajjana. So, unko sajjana sangatya ki tarah, the travel in the space appearing. Some, matlab, Vasishtha is trying to explain to Rama those lokas, comparing with what's familiar to us in this world, so that an idea can come. So we have seen beautiful three mantras. Then the fourth onwards, let us see. 65 है, तो daily 10-15 देखें. 4 दिन हम उनके साथ घूम सकते हैं in our minds. Thank you. ओम पूर्णमदः. ओम श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय, वशिष्ठ भगवान की जय, सरस्वती मैया की जय, लीला मैया की जय, सब संतन की जय, सदगुरुदेव भगवान की जय। थैंक यू फ्रेंड्स। वाक्यवृत्ति।